trial. The city of Atlanta has now targeted Lil Baby, and the accusations are deadly. Atlanta is back on its bullshit. After the complete failure that was the YSL trial.
Check me good. You on the camera? I got a gun in my nut. Check me good. I got a gun. Alright, y'all let me that cross myself dead. Y'all fired. Super hard.
Brace yourselves. The internet is absolutely imploding right now as shocking, unbelievable reports are sweeping across social media, claiming an event of seismic proportions has just rocked the world of hip-hop to its core. This is not a drill. This chatter is deafening, focusing on alleged developments involving one of the biggest names in the game, unfolding with a speed and intensity that is frankly unprecedented. The air is thick with rumor and speculation, following reports that began circulating online with lightning speed, claiming an FBI raid took place at the home of superstar rapper Lil Baby earlier today. As if that weren't enough to send shockwaves, these same reports, unverified but spreading like wildfire, escalated dramatically, alleging that Lil Baby was subsequently arrested, and not for just any charge, but for something as serious as double murder, with some of the most sensational claims even suggesting this happened live on television. It's a narrative so stunning, so dramatic, that it's almost hard to process, and the sheer volume of discussion online is testament to the shock and disbelief it has generated. Now let's try to unpack the absolute chaos that has erupted based on these circulating reports. Lil Baby is more than just a rapper. He's a cultural icon, a voice for millions, a symbol of success that emerged from challenging circumstances. His life and career are constantly under a microscope, but nothing could have prepared the online world for the intensity of the claims that began to surface today. Reports started trickling out. Vague at first, mentioning law enforcement activity at a location allegedly connected to the artist. These initial whispers quickly grew louder, bolstered by unverified accounts and shared screenshots, building a narrative that pointed towards something far more significant than a routine inquiry. According to the reports that have set the internet ablaze, federal agents were allegedly involved, adding another layer of gravity to the situation. The sheer mention of the FBI immediately elevates the perceived seriousness of the events being described in these circulating.
Y'all be thinking that things like Snapchat and Instagram disappearing mode, those things are Fed proof. They're not Fed proof at all, bro. Being a criminal is so hard nowadays, bro. The messages that quote unquote disappeared on Instagram for you is still being hosted. And they was able to pull the messages that was sent in disappearing mode, self-snitching, and use it to indict them on a RICO. Oh my. Yo, the streets is cold, bro.
And this is what's coming up now is already admitted into evidence. Is this the message that was sent?
Circulating rumors. Picture the scene as painted by these unverified online sources. Sudden, unexpected presence of federal law enforcement at a private residence, a location that is being widely identified online as Lil Baby's home. The details within these circulating reports vary, as is typical with unverified information spreading rapidly, but the core claim of an FBI raid is the common thread that initially grabbed everyone's attention and refused to let go. Then came the next layer of the bombshell reports, the alleged arrest. The claims circulating online swiftly moved from just a raid to an apprehension, and the nature of the alleged charges? This is where the reports become truly shocking and frankly demand extreme caution in how they are discussed, given their severity and unverified nature. The reports circulating widely across social media are claiming Lil Baby was arrested in connection with a double murder. Let that sink in for a moment. A double murder. These are allegations of the most serious kind, and the fact that they are being attached to such a high-profile individual in these viral reports has understandably caused a massive wave of shock, confusion, and concern among his fans and the broader public alike. But the sensationalism doesn't stop there, according to some of the most extreme versions of the circulating rumors, adding an almost unbelievable twist to the already dramatic reports. Certain claims online have suggested that this alleged arrest, or perhaps events related to it, were broadcast live on television. Now, from my perspective, this particular detail within the circulating reports raises significant questions about the credibility of that specific claim-led television arrests, especially of high-profile individuals involving such severe alleged charges, are incredibly rare and typically involve carefully controlled environments far from a spontaneous, widespread broadcast. The inclusion of this live TV element in some of the viral reports speaks to the level of sensationalism and perhaps exaggeration that can become embedded in narratives as they spread unchecked online. It adds a layer of almost cinematic drama.
Aaron, she said a couple things that relates to Lil Baby that we have to discuss. All right, so let's get into it.
All right, and this investigation began with your looking at a certain Instagram page, and whose was that?
The Instagram page belonged to Keontae Sanders, also known as Midnight.
Okay. And while looking at that page, you found some direct message communications, one of which showed a disappearing message between Mr. Sanders and somebody named
To the reports, making them more attention-grabbing, but also potentially less grounded in reality. Thinking about how these reports spread, it's a perfect case study in the power and peril of social media. A rumor starts in one corner, maybe a forum or a private chat. Someone screenshots it, shares it publicly, and then it's off to the races. The lack of immediate official confirmation or denial creates a vacuum, and that vacuum is instantly filled with speculation, secondhand accounts, and increasingly exaggerated versions of the initial claim. Within minutes, it's on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, debated, shared, and reacted to by millions. Each share adding another layer of visibility and perceived legitimacy to the unverified reports. The reaction from the hip-hop community has been palpable, even if not always public. Behind the scenes, there's undoubtedly a flurry of calls, texts, and urgent discussions. Publicly, you see a mix of disbelief, concern, and a cautious waiting game. Artists who are friends or collaborators might feel hesitant to comment on such serious unverified allegations. Fans are divided. Some are fiercely loyal, immediately dismissing the reports as false or a targeted attack. Others are expressing shock and concern, while some are unfortunately quick to jump to conclusions based solely on the circulating rumors. The emotional response online ranges from outright anger at the idea of false reports harming someone's reputation to genuine worry for the artist's well-being if there is any truth to the underlying situation, whatever that truth may be. From my point of view, one of the most striking aspects of this whole situation is the speed at which something so serious can become a viral sensation based on unverified reports. Allegations of this magnitude involving potential legal ramifications as severe as those mentioned in the circulating claims, double murder, are not something to be taken lightly or spread without confirmation. Yet the structure of social media is such that sensationalism often trumps verification, leading to a situation where incredibly serious claims are treated as breaking news.
Search by the FBI after the Bureau executed federal search warrants in California, Las Vegas, and Arizona.
The warrants were made in connection to investigations around, quote, allegations of criminal
before any official source has confirmed or denied them. This highlights a significant challenge in the digital age. How do we discern truth from rumor when the most shocking narratives spread the fastest? Let's consider the legal context, purely in a general sense, given the nature of the circulating reports. In any legal system based on justice, allegations are just that, allegations. A person is presumed innocent until proven guilty. An investigation, an arrest, and even charges being filed do not equate to guilt. This is a fundamental principle that is often lost in the rush to judgment that can happen online, regardless of the truth behind the circulating reports regarding an FBI raid and arrests. Existence of such serious allegations, even unverified ones spread through rumors, can have an immediate and significant impact on an individual's life and reputation. The process of clearing one's name, if these reports are false, can be long and difficult, with the initial shocking claim often leaving a lasting impression. The fact that some reports are claiming this alleged arrest happened live on television adds a layer of dramatic intrigue that, while likely untrue in its specifics, contributes significantly to the virality. It's the kind of detail that makes a rumor feel more significant, more like a major event. It taps into a public fascination with seeing dramatic events unfold in real time, a fascination often catered to by reality, television, and live news coverage of major incidents. However, it's crucial to approach such claims with extreme skepticism, understanding that the chaotic and sensitive nature of law enforcement operations, especially those involving serious alleged crimes, rarely aligns with the format of live, unedited television broadcasts. The inclusion of this detail in the reports circulating online speaks volumes about the desire for sensationalism in the viral narrative. Thinking about Lil Baby's position, he is at the pinnacle of his career. His music resonates with millions. He has major endorsements, and his influence extends far beyond the music industry. For someone in his position, the emergence of such
They raided the Phoenix facility in hazmat suits as part of a multi-state investigation into the illegal trafficking and sale of human body parts. But for the first time, we're now able to see the testimony from one of the FBI agents who conducted the raid, and what he recounts is shocking. trafficking.
Serious allegations, even in the form of unverified reports and rumors, creates an incredibly challenging situation. His legal team, no doubt, would be monitoring these reports closely, preparing to address them or the underlying situation, depending on the actual facts. Which are currently obscured by the viral speculation. The stress and pressure on an individual facing such widespread, serious, albeit unverified claims must be immense. The situation also brings to mind the ongoing conversations around legal scrutiny involving figures in the hip-hop world, a context that has been discussed extensively in recent times. While it's crucial not to conflate this specific situation based on unverified reports with any previous or ongoing legal matters involving other artists, the general climate of increased scrutiny adds a layer of tension whenever reports like these surface. It makes the rumors feel more plausible to some, simply because there has been heightened attention on legal cases involving musicians. However, every situation is distinct, and it is paramount to rely on verified information from official sources rather than drawing conclusions based on circulating rumors or past events involving others. From my perspective, what this incident, driven by unverified reports, really underscores is the vulnerability of even the most prominent figures in the age of digital information overload. Their lives are public. Their every move is watched, and the appetite for dramatic news, whether true or false, is insatiable. A few unverified posts claiming an FBI raid and an arrest for double murder, allegedly on live TV, can instantaneously dominate the conversation, overshadowing factual reporting and creating a narrative that is incredibly difficult to combat once it has gone viral. It's a stark reminder of the responsibility we all have when consuming and sharing information online, especially when that information involves serious allegations against another person. The ongoing nature of this situation, based on the continuous stream of reports and reactions online, means that clarity is desperately needed until official statements are made or verified.
Why file this right now? Let's just start there, the timing of it.
Jesse, great to be on as always. And I guess better late than never when it comes to the Department of Justice. But really, 1 month before trial is
information emerges from credible news organizations that have confirmed details from authoritative sources. Everything circulating online remains in the realm of rumor and allegation. The speed of the internet has delivered a shocking potential headline, but the truth behind that headline is what everyone should be focused on discerning, rather than simply accepting the most sensational claims at face value. This entire episode, even if the reports circulating online turn out to be completely unfounded, has already had a significant impact simply by generating this level of discussion and concern. It has demonstrated how quickly a narrative, no matter how dramatic or unverified, can seize the public's attention when it involves prominent figures and serious claims. It's a powerful illustration of the current media landscape, where virality can sometimes be prioritized over accuracy, and the line between rumor and news can become dangerously blurred. The focus now must shift from the sensational initial reports to the painstaking process of seeking and verifying the actual facts of the situation. Whatever they may be, this is a moment that highlights the importance of patience and critical thinking in the digital age. It is easy to get swept up in the wave of viral information, especially when it is as dramatic as reports claiming an FBI raid, an arrest for double murder, and live TV coverage. But the responsible approach, the necessary approach, is to wait for verified information, to seek out credible sources, and to remember that until proven otherwise through the proper legal process, everyone is entitled to the presumption of innocence, regardless of the severity of unverified allegations circulating online. As this situation continues to unfold and details, hopefully verified ones, begin to emerge from beneath the mountain of online speculation, staying informed from reliable sources will be absolutely critical. The narrative is still being written, the truth is still being sought, and the impact of these viral reports, whether true or false, is undeniable. To ensure you get the latest verified updates and in-depth analysis on this incredibly
they're coming through the hood in his bulletproof trucks, in his fucking like millions of dollars, bringing so much chaos to it, and then leaving to go back to his mansion. Meaning, you came in that neighborhood knowing that you had issues with those people, but you was filming this shit to taunt them, and then they slid and shot. You feel me? And shot up like the filming, but it's just a fucked up optics of this multi-millionaire coming through in his gold, leaving so much chaos behind for the people who actually live in those environments to deal with, and then you leaving. You got to be held accountable for that, bro.
I do agree with that. Like, I do think that the optics of it are fucked up, and I do think it's crazy when these rich rappers who made it out of these communities return only to add more disarray. That shit is fucked up, bro. I agree.
Freedom,
Yeah, man. Feel me?
But yeah, free them.
Right, but bro, bro, and Baby too thinking like he could dodge the RICO by changing his like fucking like his like label name to like Glass Windows, and then changing his like crew name to CBFW. It's kind of like, bro, you are stupid to think that like, oh yeah, I changed my record label's name. I changed my click name. Oh yeah, that's gonna dodge the RICO.
Fluid and serious situation, moving beyond the noise of unverified reports. Make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel right now. Hit that subscribe button and stay informed as we navigate this complex and rapidly developing story together. Atlanta's shift after the YSL trial collapse. The collapse of the YSL. Young Slime Life trial marked a turning point in how Atlanta law enforcement approached gang-related cases. For years, the city had grappled with rising homicide rates, much of which was attributed to gang violence. When the prosecution failed to secure convictions against key members of YSL, including Young Thug, it sent shockwaves through the community and legal system alike. Critics argued that the case lacked concrete evidence, relying heavily on rap lyrics and circumstantial connections to paint a narrative of criminal enterprise. This setback left the Atlanta Police Department APD scrambling to regain public trust and demonstrate their ability to combat gang activity effectively. Enter Lil Baby, one of Atlanta's most celebrated rappers and cultural icons. Known for hits like The Bigger Picture and Freestyle, he rose to prominence not just as a musician, but also as a symbol of resilience and ambition within marginalized communities. However, his success did not shield him from scrutiny. Law enforcement began casting a wide net, searching for new targets to prove their commitment to reducing crime, despite there being no direct evidence linking Lil Baby to violent acts. His name surfaced repeatedly in discussions about gang affiliations and retaliatory violence. This shift reflects a broader trend where successful black artists are disproportionately targeted by law enforcement. Historically, figures like Tupac, Shakur, Snoop Dogg, and more recently Bobby Shmurda have faced similar accusations. In many cases, these investigations hinge less on tangible proof and more on perceived associations or lyrical content. Critics argue that this approach unfairly conflates art with reality, perpetuating stereotypes about rappers and reinforcing systemic biases. Moreover, the APD's focus on Lil Baby.
A lot of deaths being committed by 4PF members, and they're saying even if we can't get Lil Baby as somebody who actually committed something. Okay, for example, in the Trevante murder like police report, Lil Baby's name, Dominic Jones, is listed as the gang leader of 4PF. So they're saying that all these murders is being done on behalf of Baby. So yes, this right here don't really prove nothing, but if they have 4PF listed under murders committed in furtherance of the gang, and they're saying that Baby is the head of that, then, you know, they got him.
That's a problem.
Are they going for another state RICO, or this isn't federal, correct?
It's state, yeah.
Yeah, but man, they better not fuck this one up too.
Exactly.
They already
fucked up
not.
Trump and Thug.
For that reason, they probably not.
Yeah, bro.
Exactly.
That's why
If they're gonna do it, they're probably
They
gonna.
done that shit.
Yeah.
There's no way they're trying to take a third L in a row.
I think that they probably shouldn't even try to do it.
Nah, you got to, bro.
Free them niggas.
I think
Two
they should
13-year-olds
fall
lost their
back.
life, man. You got to, bro.
Free Lil Baby, man. We need Lil
Yeah, for
Baby
sure.
on the streets.
Right, because
RP to the youngins for sure, and free Lil Baby for sure.
it's something evil about this
Baby raises questions about resource allocation. Instead of addressing root causes of violence, such as poverty, lack of education, and systemic inequality, the department seems intent on pursuing high-profile individuals whose arrests generate headlines. While this strategy may temporarily boost public confidence, it does little to address underlying issues driving gang activity. In essence, the aftermath of the YSL trial set the stage for Lil Baby's current predicament. By zeroing in on him, authorities hope to send a message that no one, regardless of fame or fortune, is above accountability. Yet without solid evidence, such efforts risk appearing politically motivated rather than genuinely aimed at justice. The chaotic music video incident on the surface, filming a music video might seem like a routine task for any artist, but when Lil Baby chose Dixie Hills, a neighborhood notorious for its gang presence and frequent outbreaks of violence, as the location for his shoot, tensions reached a boiling point. The decision to film in such a volatile area baffled many observers, especially given the rapper's massive following and the logistical challenges involved. Was it an attempt to stay authentic? A miscalculation, or perhaps a deliberate provocation? Dixie Hills has long been a battleground for rival gangs, including Goodfellas and OMF, Outcast Mafia Family, both of whom view 4PF, For the People Forever, Lil Baby's affiliated group, as adversaries. On the day of the shoot, hundreds of fans gathered to catch a glimpse of their favorite artist. What started as a celebratory atmosphere quickly turned chaotic when gunfire erupted, sending people scrambling for cover. Several individuals were injured, though fortunately no fatalities were reported. The incident drew immediate backlash. Critics accused Lil Baby of recklessness, arguing that bringing large crowds to a known hotspot for violence was irresponsible. Others defended him, pointing out that artists often return to their roots to maintain authenticity. They argued that blaming Lil Baby for the shooting ignored the
from the 4PF and then the quote unquote gang expert, which is like I call her Vitriol, like the vixen. She's like the same bitch like from like the YSL case who like stole like Young Thug's watches. Just that weird bitch, right? So she's a quote unquote gang expert. So her thing is she's bad as fuck. So she gets in these like entanglements with like gangbangers, draw information from them, and then like use it against them. So she knows everything that's going to go on. So she says that they were talking about Lil Baby and people, and he's the one who's like playing back. So right now, bro, like the RICO is coming for sure, because there's been a lot of murders being committed by 4PF. For example, there's another I think 4PF member, and the body cam footage shows that he got booked for a crossfire shooting that killed like a 4-year-old, right? So like there's a lot
broader context of gang warfare plaguing neighborhoods like Dixie Hills. What remains unclear is why such a risky location was chosen in the first place. Did Lil Baby and his team underestimate the potential dangers, or were they aware of the risks and proceeded anyway, banking on security measures to prevent disaster? Either way, the fallout from the incident only intensified scrutiny on Lil Baby, and his alleged ties to 4PF law enforcement seized on the event as evidence of Lil Baby's role in escalating tensions between rival gangs. According to Major Ralph Woolfolk of the APD, the mere presence of someone as influential as Lil Baby in enemy territory could provoke retaliation. While this theory holds some merit, it overlooks the fact that gangs operate independently and often act based on internal dynamics rather than external influences. Ultimately, the music video incident serves as a microcosm of larger issues surrounding celebrity culture and urban violence. It highlights the fine line artists walk between staying true to their origins and avoiding actions that might exacerbate existing conflicts. For Lil Baby, the consequences of this choice continue to reverberate, shaping public perception and fueling ongoing investigations. Gang rivalry roots. To understand the accusations against Lil Baby, one must delve into the intricate web of gang rivalries that dominate Atlanta's streets. At the heart of this conflict lies 4PF, a collective founded by Lil Baby and his close associates. Though not officially classified as a gang, PF operates similarly to other cliques in the city, fostering loyalty among members and engaging in territorial disputes with rivals. The feud between 4PF and groups like Goodfellas and OMF dates back to 2021, when a young OMF member named Big Mark was murdered. Authorities allege that the killing was carried out by 4PF members, though no arrests have been made. This event sparked a cycle of revenge attacks, with each side seeking retribution for perceived slights. Tensions escalated further after the Dixie Hills music video incident, which some
shooting in an apartment complex that took the life of 2 teenagers. And they're blaming that on Lil Baby. So I don't understand, like, you could try to say what he did might have angered somebody, whatever, but if I tell fuck you and you try to shoot me and you end up hitting everybody behind me, how the fuck am I getting charged with you shooting at me? I don't necessarily see, because when it all came out, I thought they were trying to allege that his group
interpreted as a provocation by 4PF. It's important to note that gang violence in Atlanta is deeply rooted in socioeconomic factors. Next, participants come from impoverished backgrounds, lacking access to quality education, employment opportunities, and social services. For them, joining a gang offers a sense of belonging and protection, albeit at great personal cost. This context complicates efforts to assign blame solely to individuals like Lil Baby, who are seen as figureheads rather than active participants in daily gang operations. Critics argue that focusing on celebrities distracts from addressing systemic inequalities that drive gang formation and sustain cycles of violence. By targeting Lil Baby, Authorities risk oversimplifying a multifaceted issue, reducing it to a narrative of good versus evils. Authorities' bold accusations, Major Ralph Woolfolk's assertion that Lil Baby indirectly caused a series of murders exemplifies the aggressive tactics employed by law enforcement in their pursuit of accountability. According to Woolfolk, Lil Baby's presence in rival territory during the Dixie Hills shoot triggered retaliatory violence, culminating in the deaths of several young people. While this claim is dramatic, it lacks substantial evidence tying Lil Baby directly to these crimes. Prosecutors face significant hurdles in building a case against Lil Baby. Without concrete proof, such as eyewitness testimony, forensic evidence, or credible confessions, they rely heavily on circumstantial connections and hearsay, wiretapped. Conversations, for example, reveal discussions about bounties allegedly placed on Lil Baby's head, but none of these statements originate from him or his inner circle. Instead, they stem from rival gang members whose credibility is questionable at best. This reliance on weak evidence underscores the challenges of prosecuting high-profile cases involving celebrities. Public pressure to deliver results often leads investigators to overreach, pursuing charges based on tenuous links rather than irrefutable facts. Such approaches not only undermine due process, but also erode public.
If your ops get a RICO, you'll probably get in a RICO. And in the case of Lil Baby, Goodfellas is going through the court process right now.
But day 3 of officially doing something, I think they're going to do something today. Of the Goodfella gang, where they are trying to see if they're going to move forward for the indictment, move forward for it to go to the grand jury.
Now, listen, Lil Baby is beefing with Goodfella, but today in court, there was wiretaps being played, and on one of the wiretaps, somebody mentioned that Lil Baby had tickets, aka a bag, a bounty, on some people's heads. If they know what the ops did to you, they know what you did to the ops. That's the code of the streets, people. So don't ever celebrate your ops getting a RICO, bruh. That just means that you next. Now, if we look at the receipts for Trevante Turner, the police report when he passed away, if you look at the literal police report, they listed 4PF as a criminal street gang which laid claims to the Oakland City neighborhood of Atlanta. And they talked about the shooting death of Trevante Turner, etc., etc.
Public trust in the justice system. Wiretap revelations and misinterpretations. Wiretaps play a central role in modern gang investigations, providing insights into communication networks and operational structures. However, interpreting these recordings requires caution, particularly when dealing with ambiguous language and coded references. In Lil Baby's case, wiretapped conversations frequently mention tickets or bounties supposedly linked to him, yet these claims are speculative at best, originating from rival factions eager to implicate 4PF in violent acts. Without corroborating evidence, these allegations remain unsubstantiated. Legal experts warn that relying on such flimsy foundations risks violating defendants' rights and setting dangerous precedents for future cases. Legal limbo and credibility issues. Despite mounting accusations, Lil Baby remains uncharged, highlighting the absence of physical evidence against him. Analysts suggest that the Atlanta DA's office, still reeling from the YSL trial debacle, may be overcompensating by aggressively pursuing Lil Baby. This desperation raises ethical concerns, as it prioritizes optics over justice. Lil Baby's public and legal response. Lil Baby has responded to the allegations through social media, urging fans to disregard misinformation. Backed by attorney Drew Findling, he prepares a robust defense should charges materialize. Meanwhile, supporters rally behind him, framing the accusations as racially motivated attacks on a successful black artist. Media skepticism and public doubt. Commentators like 1090 Jake criticize the DA's approach, arguing that holding Lil Baby accountable for rival gang violence ignores systemic issues. They advocate for a more nuanced understanding of gang dynamics and the societal factors contributing to urban unrest. Final thoughts on the 4PF RICO narrative. The so-called 4PF RICO saga appears to be more spectacle than substance, underscoring the complexities of navigating fame while carrying the weight of one's origins.